for Resin Studio Wood River Plank Kit. So last week we got a fair amount of progress done, but then it needed a 2-hour dry time, and I don't know about you guys, but I just cannot sit here and chat for 2 hours at a stretch. So we put it in another room to cure, and we actually worked on some other resin projects, which I have here on the table. Let me show you guys what we're going to be unmolding today. So we've got some trinket trays, we've got a couple of coasters, and we've also got some bangles. And then something I already unmolded because I just couldn't wait is this teeny tiny little watercolor paint container. So I would like to pour some more resin today. I'm going to go ahead and clear these off the table, make some space, give Joseph a chance to promote the stream, and then we're going to go ahead and get going with the Resin River.
You mean promote the stream through Discord?
Discord, Twitter, all of it. All of the promotions. And if you guys wouldn't mind, I would super appreciate it if you also took a moment and promoted the stream. Now what you can't see is Bowie is actually on the other side of the camera. He's going to be our camera cat today. So how has y'all's week been? My week has been crazy stressful. So Dax, my family's kitten, Dax started ringworm medication this week and had a really bad allergic reaction to it, like to the point where he couldn't walk or hold up his head. So we had to bring him to the emergency vet, and they figured it was just an infection. They had him start taking some antibiotics. The antibiotics seem to be helping with a different thing, but we ended up stopping the ringworm medication for a while because he's only a 5-week-old kitten, and that medication is, 1, primarily prescribed to dogs. It's not really prescribed for cats, and 2, it is never prescribed or recommended for cats under 8 weeks. So I honestly could not tell you guys what that vet was thinking, but we have been giving him dips in apple cider vinegar and Dawn and then rinsing him off, and that seems to be helping a lot. And he has not had any seizures since. He can walk just fine. He's playing like a champ. I've been sharing videos of him to my stories every time I see him. So he seems to be doing a lot better, but it was a really, really stressful week this week, and it just really threw me off my game. So I am so glad my little buddy is doing better. He's not here with me today because my mom had surgery earlier today, and she's out taking a nap on the sofa at her house, and he's at home taking a nap probably as well. So it's Joseph as my very handsome co-star today, and Bowie as my camera cat. So it's just us 3, but I think we can manage the Resin River without a problem. So one of the first things I want to do, I would love to open these windows if I could, get that ventilation going. These windows have been painted shut, so can't do that, but I'm going to go ahead and turn on the fans, get the air circulating, and we're working in a dining room, so it's nice, open, and breezy. We should be okay, but hello, Bowie. Are you here to say hi? Yeah? Yeah? Here to say hi?
I can't share it, I don't think, through Facebook on here.
You can't share it from YouTube on Facebook or on that computer?
On that computer, because it's not signed in.
Ah.
Oh, you are not allowed on the table.
Not allowed on the table? Okay, so for today's project, we're also going to need some gloves and possibly some more small measuring cups, and we are probably going to need some more popsicle sticks. So these were not necessarily included with the kit. The kit did come with, I believe, a couple of sticks, but we've already run through those. But we have gloves here. We've got small measuring cups. I also have syringes if we need them. Would you like an apron to protect your clothes?
No, I think it'll be fine.
You think it'll be fine? Okay. And they did include another measuring cup with this kit. I soaked it in hot water and soap last week, and the resin cured to it. I really cannot recommend hot water and soap as a way to clean up resin because it seems to just turn it to sticky, horrible goo.
Yeah.
Rubbing alcohol helps some. White vinegar has helped the most. So
we're pouring the river and then demolding things?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Because resin takes a while, at least 24 hours to cure.
Yeah.
So everything else has been curing for a week.
Yeah.
I heard
Technically,
people
just admin
enjoy.
as well, but
Yeah, that
you
as
have
well.
to pour the base, basically.
Yeah. So to get people caught up, this so far was made using this resin kit. This kit does include pretty much everything you'll need. It did come with gloves. It
Not
did
the
come with
tape, though,
stirring.
right? Or
It came with the tape.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I actually like this kit. It really kind of came with everything you need. It did not come with a whole lot of resin. This should hopefully be enough resin, though, to finish the project. And the larger measuring cup is basically out of commission. So I'm going to grab a red solo cup for this. At some point, I'd like to buy those silicone pouring cups.
We've got clear ones, too.
We do. That's okay. Yeah, I'll probably grab that then. So for those of you just getting caught up, this is what the kit comes with. So pretty much everything you will need. I chose to put it on a silicone sheet, but the acetate sheet it came with is underneath it. And what we did last week was we basically assembled our wood frame using wood tape, large popsicle sticks, and the included push pins. We painted our resin onto the sides, and we also poured our resin in the bottom. And even though we tried to be really careful to keep it nice and clean looking, we did get some bits of bark in the bottom. That's not really a big deal.
Rivers have...
That's right. Rivers have debris. I meant to ask you to get some pebbles from the gravel road behind the house because I thought that would look
You
cool.
don't have any from last time?
No, I used them all from the crystal stream. Don't know why my brain was like, nope, not doing it.
Yep.
They did include glass rocks. I just thought some large pebbles at the back would look really cool. But
What
that's
is
a
the
me
back?
thing. Like one of the two edges.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about that in the included
I
instructions.
think it's supposed to imply the river continues on.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe.
I assume these popsicle sticks get taken off.
Eventually, after
Yeah.
it's cured. So this is, for us, this is going to be a 3-week project.
Do you have anything else that would be cute in the river? A little Lego boat or a little ducky
Well,
or...
I don't know. I have a box of gewgaws and doodads, but I don't think any of these would really look good in the river. I have a bigger box that I
big
had.
Lego boat, but I would
I
kind
wanna
of
put
hate
that
to
in that.
sacrifice it.
Yeah,
on this.
I don't wanna do
know.
that.
What else are we
No.
really using
No,
it for?
I don't wanna
you
do
know?
that.
Okay.
Mostly
I
because
think it'd
it'll
be
be, the
cute.
scale will be wrong. If it was like this big, it would
No,
be cute.
It's like that big.
Yeah, I think that's a little too big. Because if it was smaller, the scale would imply it has room to go.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's too big, it looks like a ship in a bottle. You know what I mean? Like it's stuck. All right, so
It's a good metaphor for crafts.
stuck in crafts. Depends on how you feel about crafts. Now, what it also recommends is paper towels and a blow dryer. I do have paper towels. I do not have a blow dryer. Anyone who watches my watercolor painting streams will know that. So we have done the design prep, creating the reservoir. We are now at the preparing the resin stage. And it calls for us to pour precisely equal amounts of room temperature resin and hardener into the mixing container. Adding too much of either the resin or the hardener will cause your resin mixture to not cure or harden properly. And then we mix. But what we could do before that is add the stones. So pour the glass stones into the reservoir you created between the wood planks, making sure to spread them out evenly.
They're a little bit like magic card counters or whatever. The same kind of thing that people put in the bottom of aquariums.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're smaller. And they're taped very, very well.
This is a $20 kit, and I think for a $20 kit, I'm pretty impressed because it really did come with pretty much everything
add all of
you
them?
need. Wait, I think what we should do is we should do the green
Sections.
mostly. Yeah, sections. We could maybe
So you
have them
wanna add all
like
of them
fade
or no?
out. Well, I haven't even opened the other two bags, so I don't know yet.
They
These
are
bags
strangely
are
shaped.
hard to open.
It's kind of just like chunks.
So, do you want to do the white in between the blue and the green like it's breakers? Like this is like land or sediment, and the blue is like clean water, and the white is like the
Whatever
foam?
you want, it is your.
It's my craft, my
Crafty
crafternoon.
So you want white in between?
Yeah.
Some of these are almost perfectly round.
Sorry about that. I decided to zoomity-zoom so we could get a nice shot of the pebbles.
More green?
Yeah, more green. And I want to kind of fade them
That's what I
into
did
each
with the
other.
clear.
Yeah, because I think that's good. And I'm moving some of the glass
Plastic
pebbles up here to the edges. And we're going to be pouring resin over this. So this looks pretty good so far, I think.
I think we should put a Reese's Pieces cup
Right in the
middle.
center.
Yeah.
You know, somebody did a resin egg, like an egg in resin to see if it would rot. It did. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really surprised that it
Well,
rotted. The
I mean,
bacteria
there
was already introduced
exactly,
to begin
and there
with.
was already air in there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Pretty good, pretty good. YouTube does not like it when I zoom, so it always like fritzes out.
What about a Lego minifig?
You are super in. Did he just lay on the play button? He
Yeah.
did.
I don't think.
Give me a sec.
Under something, so.
Good boy. Good Bowie.
What do you have against Legos is the question.
I don't have anything against Legos.
Could make
I
them
think
swimming up
I
the
think
river.
a Lego specific resin project would be cool. I
just
think
don't know
adding them to
what
this.
else to put in. I mean, if you just
We
want
don't
the
have.
stones,
Yeah,
that's
we don't have
fine.
to add anything else. I mean, I would if I had other like river pebbles and stuff. I might have even included some of those up here,
Mhm.
but I don't. Or like a piece of driftwood or something if it was small enough. Okay, so it is time for gloves and masks if you got them. I have 2 pairs of gloves here. And these are not the gloves that came with the kit. The gloves that came with the kit have been long since ruined. These are gloves from Michaels. So they're just like food service gloves basically. And they want me to mix equal parts of this. And last time we did it, it was about equal. This time it does seem a little bit off. I was hoping I could get away with not measuring it.
You could just pour part of it into the trash.
Well, yeah,
Equal.
I mean, oh, yeah, you might be right about that. I
I
could
mean,
just
what good is it to
pour
have
the second one.
unequal amounts?
Yeah. That's what happened. Well, wait, now that I look at it here, it's like a really minuscule amount.
Yeah,
Let's
just
see if I can do
pour
that.
part of it into the trash, and then you'll have equal amounts.
See, I poured too much. I mean, it really is like a minuscule amount. So in general, when we do these craft kit projects, I try not to change. Hey, Bugsy, good evening. Hey, Dawn. I try not to change too much about what's going on in the project because it doesn't, if I change too much, then I can't really review the kit, you know? I mean, I think if we wanted to, adding Lego figures would be fine.
You may as well pour them both in at the same time, huh? Or you want that extra minute?
It's more like I have no grip with these gloves. So I'd have to put down this and open the other one and
I
then
can
pour them
grab
at
the
the
other
same
one. You
time.
want me to pour it?
If you want to, it's already open. This is what happens when you run a stream after a very busy day. Now we could add dye to this. You want to add a little bit of blue dye maybe, or you want to leave it clear?
I think given that there's all the colors in the pebbles, it makes sense to leave it clear.
Okay.
I also feel like we would end up adding too much dye.
Maybe so. I would add it to the cup. Because if this doesn't work, I have other resins. So we could just pour this into something else if we didn't like the color.
How did I beat you?
One of them's more viscous than the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, usually the hardener is a little thinner than the resin itself. I'm just going to reuse this. This was from last time. And since it was on a silicone sheet, it should be good. And I'm supposed to stir until it goes totally clear and for 3 minutes.
You want a timer, or are you just going to...
Yeah, would you time me? I think we understirred last time, but it turned out okay. I feel like I got lucky. We're also not supposed to scrape. So when you're stirring, you're supposed to scrape the container, but when you're pouring, you're not supposed to scrape the container.
Don Beanie asked what we were making.
Don't hold it up because they'll fall.
Okay.
Here.
We are making a resin river with some glass beads and some
Wood planks.
wood planks with rough edges. Last week, as Becca mentioned, we kind of sealed everything so that now we can pour in
And hopefully it won't leak.
what is going to be the river in between these two. And like Becca said, hopefully it won't leak out. If it does, as long as it's leaking very slowly, it should dry fine.
Should be okay, yeah.
We might have to sand it down though, but that's fine.
Well, Mom offered to bring her Dremel tool if she was feeling well enough, so she'll probably bring it next week.
I've got an electric sander.
Whoa.
Okay.
The big guns.
How is that a big gun?
Well, a Dremel is like a little sander. An electric sander is like vroom vroom.
It's like a palm one.
Oh, okay.
Not like a belt sander or something. You think it matters if you go clockwise or counterclockwise?
I don't think it matters. It's probably good to mix it up. The resin knows. It can sense it. Well, if it's that intelligent.
Very thin.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's not too hot, not too cold
I've
in
never
here.
stirred resin before. I just assumed it was much thicker than this. I've messed with epoxy, and I feel like epoxy is thicker than this.
Yeah. But there are different types of resins. So
Yeah.
there's some resins that are like real thin, and some that are real thick. There's some that are really bendy.
I mean, you can stir this easily with your fingers and not like with, your entire wrist or arm or whatever. Although it is starting to thicken a bit. Is that?
Well, were you able to set a timer?
No.
Okay. We're probably
It's
like
been a minute and a half. Yeah.
So we're waiting for it to go clear. And you can use the hairdryer to
almost
pop
clear.
bubbles, but if you heat resin up too much, it'll never harden properly. So I don't care if there's bubbles because, a river has bubbles.
I haven't been scraping the sides too much. That's a mistake, I guess. I'm scraping the bottom. Just kind of been stirring.
I keep meaning to buy some silicone tools, some additional silicone tools to help with the resin.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time this week.
I don't know if that's a piece of a glove. No, it's not. It's just dried
There
resin.
shouldn't be a piece of glove. And since we're messing with resin, after we demold the other ones, I wouldn't mind doing some more resin. And I have not used mold release. Oh, sorry, y'all. Pretty much every resin project I do, I use with silicone that I've already
I
cleaned
think it's
out.
probably been 3 minutes.
It's still not clear though.
Okay.
I can stir. I want to show the camera too. So you can see
It's not.
there's a lot of, he whipped it. There's a lot of bubbles in it, but it's also not clear.
It sounds like it's sticking to something.
To the side of it. Now it's starting to clear up.
Let's see if my phone can be unlocked through these dogs. No. Big surprise.
So if this ends up not being enough resin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cure another week and then do another coat. Because I don't actually know if the Amazing Clear Cast...
If it's clear, it shouldn't matter. It's not like you'll be able to tell the difference.
Right. But what I mean is, like, I don't know if they'll interact if I pour them while they're still wet. I don't know enough about the kind of resin they included, Color Flow included, versus Amazing Clear
Yeah, it
Cast
could be a
Plus.
different chemical.
Right. If I was just doing Clear Cast, I would just mix up some more. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really depends on how tall you want the river.
Yeah. I want it to cover the rocks.
I think it should cover the rocks.
All right. Has it been 3 minutes? It's not really...
For sure, it's been 3 minutes.
It's not really clearing up. And we have whipped so much air into this. If I had a pressure pot...
You want me to tap it or something?
No. I'm just putting it down for a minute. I'm going to pinch zoom and adjust the camera for when we are
Slow motion
pouring it.
pour.
Ah, it zoomed in way too much.
It always does that.
I know. There we go. We're not going to be able to do a slow motion pour because that would require physically pouring it slower. But
Just pretend, just talks in slow motion, and maybe people will think it's slow motion.
yeah, we might have to make some more resin.
Well, I think you're focusing in one area too much.
It can't. It's moving so quick. It's so rapid.
I can tilt it.
Don't tilt it.
The clear stones kind of disappear.
They do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some more resin. There wasn't really enough left. So unfortunately, this project is gonna go into week 3 because I don't, like we just talked about. Yeah, do that.
Now our river is actually flowing.
Very slow.
Well, I want it to flow slow.
Slow-mo, slow-mo, slow flow-mo,
You getting this action?
slow flow, mo flow.
It's working pretty well.
It is working, yeah. And it has a 30-minute open time according to the package. So, step 3 is air bubbles may begin to rise to the surface of the poured resin. To remove air bubbles, position a hair blow dryer, it said, about 6 inches above the poured resin, and using a low fan speed, blow warm air in the direction of the bubbles. So, I don't have a hair dryer.
You want to just pop them with like a
I'm
stick?
not worried about it. It's a river.
I'm not that worried
I
about it
actually
either.
wish it had more, frankly. That would look kind of
I don't know
cool.
if those are bubbles or if those are pebbles.
I think they're pebbles. They mostly look like pebbles. There are some air bubbles in there, but I was hoping we could get like some more bubbles because that would look really cool.
It's almost entirely saturated. The top left corner needs some more, so I'm
I
going to
think
tilt it in that direction.
Next week I might do another pour on this, but ooh, it is. It's going into that bottom corner there. You did good. You're smart. I mean, you could prop it up too. One could prop it up if they don't feel like holding it, but and then it'll self-level.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys what we got.
Well, we at least need a tiny frog or something to put in there.
I
That's all
don't
that I'm
have
saying.
any. A tiny frog would look really good, or a fish.
Or a little turtle.
A little turtle. Oh, you know what? Because I want to do another pour on top of this. And I'm sure during the week, if I actually go
We
and...
could have just shaped the stones, the green stones, into a little turtle.
You're more crafty than I am.
You do it right now.
I don't want...
Popsicle
No.
stick if you want.
Now! I'm going shopping this week anyway. So I'll keep my eyes out for something that would look good like that. But that's a key... Because I want to do another layer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that would look cool because then we could suspend the turtle or the fish or whatever I find in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're smart. That's why I married you. I'm going to move this into another room and then we will unmold our resin.
So I don't know if you guys know, but Becca has a
Chat it up, chat it up, chat it up,
section
chat it
of
up.
her website which informs you about her latest comic page YouTube video and blog post called the Natto Scoop. If you go to
It also tells you in my comic. Oh, you said comic too.
Yeah. If you go to nattoscoop.com/scoop, you can see her latest YouTube video,
Natto Scoop, Natto Scoop, Natto Scoop, Natto Scoop, Natto Scoop,
comic
Natto
page, and blog post. So we're going to demold some things now. Last week we poured, what was it? So
Amazing
you made the
clear
palette.
cast resin.
Amazing clear cast resin. That was mostly because this kit, we didn't realize, had so much intermediate drying time.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, we had to set down a pre-base so that all of that resin we just poured into the well between those two different wood pieces wouldn't just flow out underneath it. So hopefully that got a good seal. We kind of just, or Becca and her mother kind of just painted it on and then poured a tiny bit at the bottom. But I didn't notice any leaking, and if it is leaking, it's leaking so slow it's not going to be a problem. But we're now going to demold some things, and then after that Becca wants to create some more resin craft things.
Sorry, I'm looking for a battery backup because I'd like to get some footage of us unmolding.
Hey Amy, we're working on resin stuff right now. We just finished pouring the resin river.
That's in another room curing for right now. This stupid phone died on me,
dang
dang
it.
it.
Demold some things.
So I might have to use your phone to get some B footage
Okay.
of us unmolding the resin. Y'all do not know how hard it was for me to wait all week to unmold this.
We got some coasters. Becca already unmolded the palette.
Yeah, where is the palette? I know where the mold for it is, and now I can't find it.
What else did you make? Or was that it?
No, there's more. I'm looking for the little palette though. The thing that goes in this, because it's clear.
So it's easy
Here
to
we
read,
go.
I guess.
It disappeared.
Obviously Becca's favorite. Since
It is
she
my favorite.
Unmolded it early, so
I
it
just couldn't resist.
does have a few bubbles in it. She said it doesn't bother her. It's still
No,
pretty functional.
because I'm making those to send paint samples to my friends. So as long as the paint doesn't leak, I don't care.
It looks like it almost didn't make it all the way through in this corner up here, but it's still
I'm not
solid.
even using this for paint, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I don't know.
Why not?
Okay, so we have many things to unmold. I'm excited about it. Some of these are new molds
Are
for
these
me.
bangles? Like
Yes, those
for
are bangles.
accessories?
Yeah. I have some earring molds and stuff. So most of these molds were purchased on
And I think they're all silicone molds.
yes. Yeah.
Silicone molds.
Yeah. Because I don't feel like dealing with
And did you use any kind of mold release?
I did not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
Which
like
I
it
think
needed
bothered some folks, but that's okay. I don't have any, first off, and I clean my molds. Usually I clean my molds really well before I pour into them, so I wasn't super concerned about it. All right.
Looks like some of the
Some of the
leaf or
flake didn't even
whatever.
make it in.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start with this one here.
What is that?
This is like a tray. So I'm excited about this one. And then I'm kind of hoping we can pour some more resin today. This is your first time pouring resin, right?
Yeah.
You've never done it before. That's cool.
Well, I still haven't poured resin, but yeah.
Uh-oh. This one's already bending. Oh, it's bending a lot. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Should you let it cure longer? Or that's
It's
as
cured a
as
week,
it's
so this
gonna
is as
get?
cured as it's gonna get.
Hmm.
So I
Did
wonder
you not
if
mix
it's
it properly?
I thought
you
I
think they're
did.
all going to be bendy?
I think they might all be a little bendy. I don't know if it's
No,
a bad
this is
thing
pretty hard.
because
I feel
it
a little bit
might
of flex, but I think it's the silicone.
be the amazing clear cast. but it doesn't feel sticky or tacky yet.
Mhm.
That's how you know. It could, ooh.
Could be the thinness or something.
Yeah, it could be the thinness, but that is really kind of pretty. So I'm not making any of this to sell.
It looks like a plate for a VR goggle. Yeah, it feels gummy, especially.
But it doesn't feel
this
tacky,
side
right?
Feels, the bottom right here feels kind of tacky.
Okay, so supposedly what you can do, yeah, I see what you mean. I will go get some rubbing alcohol because supposedly that can help.
Help get it to
Help
cure?
it cure,
make
yeah,
not
help it
tacky?
finish curing.
Okay. Should I undo something else? We are hanging on. I can't check the chat right now because Becca took my phone.
You should just use every break to talk about Kara.
So this is 99.9%
Isopropyl.
alcohol.
Yeah. And I read online that this can help it dry. Like cure if it hasn't fully cured.
Well, you might want to get it out of the direct line
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
gonna go
fan
move it
because
with
it's just
the-
going to evaporate immediately.
So hopefully that works, because if you have uncured resin, it can actually kind of seep out and ruin the rest of it. So which one do you want to unmold?
Let's do a bangle.
These are going to be
Hard to do.
a bit of a challenge, yeah. These are also going to need to be cleaned up a bit with like a Dremel or a sander. And I didn't remove the bubbles
Can you use
on the
acetone to
edges.
clean them, or does that not work on
I
resin?
have no idea.
Someone let us know in the chat.
Right now I'm just kind of,
Yeah, trying to make sure it's all released.
yeah.
And basically all the molds seem pretty quality, so I don't think you have to worry, unless you're using it hundreds of times, I don't think you have to worry about it breaking.
So there are some areas that are going to have to be cleaned off, but it worked. You want to do one?
Sure.
So that one didn't have any
So I think
sticky or
this
tacky.
is a small tray.
That's a lid. That is the lid to this.
Oh, okay.
So while you do this, I'll do this. I was really excited about this one because this is a new mold.
And this is the one that I said was very hard. Yeah. Oh, wait. It does have a tiny bit of flex. Only in like one specific orientation, though. Yeah. So this is not the kind of resin that you'd want to make like airplane parts out of. Because your airplane might fall apart. You might want to show
That
them.
looks kind of good.
Yeah.
My mom did that one, and I think that's kind of cute.
It fits together nicely.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I was super excited for that mold, and I'm glad it worked out. I got that mold on Etsy along with the mini palette. I mean, it could use some cleaning up, refining the edges and stuff, but, you know, straight out of the gate, it works okay. I also love the copper and blue combination.
Mhm.
So if we pour resin
Not so much the
today,
silver, though. There's bits of silver in
there
there,
is
too.
bits of silver. I would just do,
I like this green, though.
all right, well, why don't you unmold it? And that is going to be a coaster. Ooh, that's a pretty, I love
think
the copper
top-
and blue.
I mean, the bottom looks better
yeah,
than the top.
yeah, because you can see more of the, so what,
There's a bit of a texture on the
how
bottom.
this
I don't know
one
what
was
that
made,
is.
it's bubbles from the pouring.
Okay.
How this was made is they poured the resin and then they dripped alcohol inks into it.
Yeah.
But I think having
Yeah, I can
some
see
of the
the
gold
swirls of
flakes
the
at the
alcohol
bottom
inks.
would look better. It's still nice.
So this is very solid as well, probably because it's just
A hefty
one
chunk.
large mass of resin.
Yeah, I think it's the thinness of the other one
Although
that made
it
it.
kind of has a weak part in
Is
one
it sticky
orientation
anywhere?
too. I think it might be because of that little chip there.
Oh yeah, there's a bubble.
Yeah.
Couple bubbles.
Couple bubbles.
Bubbles.
No, like show the camera up close. This is what the molds look like after you use them, but before you clean them.
Yeah, they're covered in resin.
Yeah.
The heart one I've used before, and it's one of my favorite molds because it's really cute.
It's just a heart dish.
Yeah, it's a heart dish. And we did gold in this one. Like gold.
You know everyone would do red.
Alcohol. I did a pink one before, but I didn't want to do like too stereotypical. Heart of gold.
That's true. I know, it's
You
a little
have
like
a heart of gold.
little bronze.
Yeah, it is. I'm more of a copper gal myself. Okay, so it's all loose now. I just have to get it out. So I did say I wouldn't do my own silicone molds, and then I realized, oh no, are you tacky? Let me unmold it and then I'll see. Then I realized I could do my own Happy Planner arc rings, and now I want to make my own. Try making, I don't know, you feel it. I don't think it is
You don't think
tacky
it's
on the bottom.
No, it does have a strange texture though.
Yeah, it's a little greasy almost.
Yeah. It's hard to describe. It's more slippery than you would expect.
It's kind of cute though, with all the glitter. And I mean, you can add mica in to get that like really nice shimmer. This is an alcohol ink that already had some mica in it, but you can add different colored micas. That's cute. That is a little dish. Is it bendy?
Yeah,
It looks
no,
like
a
it's
big
being
pot.
bendy today.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's just the silicone releasing, but I think the whole thing
It's
is
being
bending.
bending, yeah.
Yeah. Should we not
No,
demold it or just take
I
it
don't
all
care.
out?
Demold it. I'll do it.
Yeah, that thing is
Very
warped.
bendy. It's cute.
Almost like
I
you could
love
take
all
a
the
bite out of
glitter.
it, like it's taffy
It
or
could
something.
be the Amazing Clear Cast is just more of a so I found out about Amazing Clear Cast from Craftman's craft channel,
Okay.
and he makes a lot of slightly bendy action figures.
Yeah, he does.
So while it's a nice resin and I like working with it, it is a little bendy. This doesn't bother me necessarily.
No, because that doesn't need to be structurally sound.
Right, but if I was making like
actually, it would have been nice to do that with the bangles, because then
they're
kind of
all
form.
made with the Amazing Clear Cast.
Oh, okay.
I
So-
use the same. I don't like mix in my resins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of those coasters are very hard.
Because they're much thicker, I think. Like this coaster here. That's a chunk. It's a few millimeters thick. At the thickest, this bowl isn't even that thick. But it might not have cured fully, so I'm going to just spray. Because somebody poured some additional resin on it to top it off.
I'm trying to figure out a good way to get this out.
The bangle,
Yeah.
you just gotta work at it. And you can get all kinds of silicone molds on Amazon, on Etsy, at different craft stores. Even in the baking center, like if you wanted like Pikachu heads or something, you could probably find that in the baking section.
Now it's almost completely out, so yeah, I was gonna say, it should just be a matter of... This one kind of worked a little bit.
Yeah, as you pulled it out.
No, I don't think it has anything to
It
do
might
with
have
me
been too
pulling it
cold
out.
in that
I
room.
think that is just how it cured.
It could have been.
Yeah,
This-
because I can't seem
This
to bend
mold
it back
is a
in
little deformed.
place. Well, maybe so. It's straighter now. Wouldn't say it's perfectly straight, but yeah, it could have been the removal process. Came out all right.
What I want to do eventually, haven't gotten there yet because I'm still kind of figuring this out, is I want to do art supplies in resin.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you're doing some kind of inclusions today if you're planning on.
I don't have anything prepared. I wish I did.
I don't understand why you keep on doing resin things if you're just gonna like make the same things
I'm not
you've been
necessarily making the same things. Some of these things take time to prepare, and today was just kind of a busy day.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Ooh, okay, that's kind of cute.
I personally don't think.
I started this one, and I wanted to test out what a pink rim looks like. What a rim looks like.
So you dropped a lot of alcohol ink.
Mm-hmm. No, I mixed up pink. So we've actually been doing different techniques every time we do resin. Okay. We're not just doing the same thing every time.
Sure.
So I poured pink tinted resin along the rim, and then I went to go take care of the cat, and somebody else took over, and I don't like it as much because I wanted it to just be pink and clear, but that's okay. That's what happens when you share and take turns. So I have some silicone little tools, and I was thinking with the alcohol we could do marbling effects by dragging the silicone through it. Last one.
This is just a square.
That's a trinket dish. Yeah.
Looks like it's also using the bronze. And this is another
and the
one
green.
You're just gonna have to force out. This one isn't gummy at all, strangely enough.
We did half and half with that with 2 different colors.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the green and the bronze.
So that one doesn't need any kind of curing.
This also feels a little bit slippery. Like it kind of reminds me of a bowling ball.
Well, bowling balls are made of acrylic, I believe.
Yeah, but they're running along bowling lanes that have been.
Yeah, okay, that's what you meant. Like a bowling ball that has been used.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to show all the ones we've done?
Including.
Nah, I don't feel like digging.
Sure.
And I'll go grab the 2 I moved into the other room. I like this one a lot.
Have you started using the...
Yeah, I've been using it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we started using the coaster, and I have found that putting very hot mugs on top of the resin coasters very slightly melt them.
So this is still a little sticky, even though I sprayed it down. There might not be any rescuing that, because somebody had gone over it and poured extra resin, like my mom or my aunt had done that. And then they did the same with this one, and this one's very sticky. But the rubbing alcohol might not have finished drying, so. Which one is your favorite?
These are truly, like, for us. I don't know how regular people could put these bangles on.
They probably can expand a little.
Because we have tiny wrists. And they, like, just barely go on. Probably the last one we did, the green with the bronze. That or the bottom of this coaster. No, that sounds strange to say, but I think the bottom does look better than the top. I think it's because there's like this partially opaqueness to the top that kind of clouds it up. If you could see through it better and it looked more like this.
Some of that opacity does come from the bubbles.
Yeah, it could just be a bunch of tiny bubbles.
Which one's y'all's favorite? Let me know. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and... My favorite is the one we didn't even hardly show. It's this one. Plain and simple, but it works. I like functional crafts. But this one I also really like, even though there's some bubble issues with it.
And it's bendy.
And it's a little bendy, yeah. It's still really cute. These would make good, for my convention table, good, like, displays.
I think it might be a little too distracting.
Yeah, they try to buy them, but that's okay with me. Anyone who asks that, I probably would have a price for them. Okay.
I mean, how long does resin things take? Because I don't necessarily, like, I haven't actually eaten dinner.
You haven't eaten. They don't actually take that long once you get going. It's mostly just prepping the workspace and then being patient because them curing is what's going to take a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to cure on stream.
No, which is why we didn't do finish the river.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of, did you want to check to see if the river?
No, it's not going to be cured. I like letting my resin cure for a couple of days at
Yeah,
least.
I meant like enough to be able to hold it up to the camera or whatever. But I guess you could just bring the camera to
It
it.
hasn't even been 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it has an open time of 30 minutes, which means it's still malleable for 30 minutes. So what we've been using is we've been using wax paper on crawfish trays, and I've also been using silicone mats with, and these still have resin on them, so I need to clean these off. I'll just put that aside though. And I have found that with tools that are made of silicone, it's better to just let the silicone dry rather than using hot water and soap, because the hot water and soap turns into this god-awful glue that you cannot get off your hands.
So if you're new to Becca's channel, she's a comic artist by trade. If she's got a lot of things online, you can check out her Gumroad if you want to take a peek at some of her various projects. She also has coloring pages on her Gumroad if you're feeling crafty to do something like that. Or you can go to 7inchkara.com and read the webcomic version of her comic 7-Inch Kara for free.
So I want to use the resin in here because it's already open. Like I've already opened the containers.
Okay.
And probably I should clean the molds out in between uses, but I'm not.
So what were you hoping to try this time?
I don't know. Something I kind of like about resin, so most of the art I make is actually incredibly planned out, methodical kind of plotting.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy that, but resin is an opportunity for me to loosen up and just try whatever comes to mind.
Sure. We could maybe try to saturate some yarn or something and put that in.
Yeah, if you want to. You'd have to saturate it in resin.
We could add some of the colored sand. That's
I hate that stuff. That's going to be in your resin pieces. I don't love it. Yeah, we could memorialize all of the craft kits we've done by resinating them. I have puff balls if you want to try doing puff balls. I have glitter. I have other kinds of inclusions. My really cool inclusions are packed up from moving.
What we could maybe do is put tape around this. We would have to be pretty precise about it though.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah, it would be hard to get a good seal.
Pour an acrylic top.
So I like that idea. I want to do that as its own Chillstream because I feel like that's going to be a methodical one, but I think it could look cool.
I don't know about that. We could try to take it up.
Well, no, because it's not just tape; it's push pins. Because the tape isn't going to stick to all the lichen. It's not going to seal. But I think that's a cool idea, and I'd like to try that another time.
I'd like to try it now.
All right, Joseph Coco. All right. All right. This is why I invite him on the craft streams. He has cool ideas. I can't argue that.
Scotch tape?
That is Scotch tape.
That's more like packing tape, though.
You want something that's going to have a really good seal, and Scotch tape does not.
Okay, so you think I was thinking this might be too thick, so it might not stay in the.
I'm going to get you some push pins as well.
Okay. So my friend has been getting into woodworking. He cleared out a bunch of trees in his yard. He's got much nicer wood now because he actually works at a lumber mill. But this was just a cookie, as the trade seems to call it, which is you literally take a log and slice it with a chainsaw, which is why you can see this hasn't been sanded or anything. It still has the chainsaw texture on it. I can get rubber bands. Becca is still searching for push pins.
you just going to do resin on it, or are you going to do colored resin? I think colored resin would look really
Yeah,
good.
the lichen does make it so that the tape doesn't want to stick at all.
Yeah. Well, I have thumbtacks that you could use and try
I
to
guess I
like
could
just
go
use a
further
million of them.
down and hope that that would work better. But
There's lichen all over it.
yeah, I guess I wouldn't necessarily.
I don't have any rings that don't have lichen on it either.
Sure.
Wait a minute.
What we might need to do.
I do actually have something, but it has a hole in it. It's an ornament. I was gonna wood burn it, but it doesn't have any lichen in it. It's smaller, so it might be more manageable
Yeah.
for a project you've never done before.
Eh,
Yeah, I know. Go big or go home.
yeah, not as exciting, but I'll consider it. Let me just try to think about
All
how I
right,
can
Icarus.
get something.
Flaw. I brought you some push pins.
So the thing is, I do have a good rubber band that will.
I brought some good rubber bands. I brought a few of them.
I was gonna grab. Okay, this one might work.
Hey, Bowie.
I was gonna grab one of the thick ones that Bowie's Food comes with.
Oh, sure. Those would probably work better.
Yeah, this one might be slightly too loose. Is this the same size? No, I think this is a little smaller.
I think it is the Amazing Clear Cast because even this is a little bendy, which doesn't bother me, but it is something to keep in mind. So what I did last time was we mixed up a big batch of resin and then poured it into smaller cups and then added the color. I liked that. It allowed me to do multiple colors instead of just being reliant on dripping the ink into the resin a little bit at a time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do it the cup way. I'm gonna put my gloves back on and I'm going to prepare my work surface, I guess. Crawfish trays are handy
For crafting.
for crafting, yeah.
And for crawfish.
And for crawfish.
I think these smaller rubber bands will work well. I'll probably get some more. What do you recommend I actually put around the edges in order to contain? I mean,
Tape.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
Sure.
You want as good a
And-
seal as possible, so I would just do everything. I would do tape, I would do push pins, and I would do rubber bands. Oh, so this is what he's working with. It's just a rough wood log. It's not anything super fancy. You could probably find that at Michael's if you could find a cleaner version of that at Michael's if you
Or
wanted it.
Just find a log that fell somewhere.
Yeah, and cut it up.
Get
But
a
I
saw
mean,
and cut
not
it.
everybody has access to that, so
Yeah.
that's why I was suggesting an alternative. I'm gonna need some more popsicle sticks. I do kind of like your idea for saturating yarn, though. That's kind of neat. Ah. Hello, Bo.
Well, I did play Yoshi's Crafted World.
Do 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 do. I also have some shaker charms.
Alright, so that worked pretty well.
Bowie-o-wee-o. Bowie-o.
Better than I thought. Now let's try rubber banding a bunch. I might approach it from the other side. I don't know.
Bowie-o-wee-o-wee-o.
Well, this works. Yeah, there's still some gaps in there, which is why I grabbed multiple rubber bands, hoping that will
Okay,
fill
that
in
might work.
some of the gaps.
So are you starting your own craft YouTube channel?
Apparently.
You don't need me anymore? What would you call your craft YouTube channel?
Probably involve Bowie in it, so
Crafting with Bow.
maybe.
He wants to help with resin, but he cannot. Sam said that they'd put water-soluble glue around the edge first and then tape that. That is actually a good idea. I don't know. I don't know if I have any Elmer's glue.
Yeah, Elmer's glue would be ideal, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it seems like no matter how many
seal.
rubber bands I put on there, there's still
It's
some
gonna
just
be,
big
oh,
holes.
something else you should do is the same thing we did with the thing we just did, where you paint some of your resin onto it, let it cure, and then pour it.
Yeah.
And that would create a seal. Do you need paintbrushes?
I don't know, because I think the bigger thing is to try to solve, like, what can we do about the bigger holes in here. I can show the camera maybe.
I think Sam's idea was a good one. And we
Is that
have
Elmer's
3 of
glue?
those rounds. I don't know if we have Elmer's glue. I have PVA glue, which I don't think is
so
a water-based glue.
There's like an edge right here that would definitely have epoxy running straight down it. Same with right here. Just because of the form of the log. I'm wondering if I could just pack it with something. It would definitely have to be, and then try to tear it off afterwards. It would have to be something that would contain the resin, of course.
And I'm just mixing up a basic batch of clear. And then I'm going to pour it into smaller cups and tint those and use that. I have more resin, by the way. Not not buku more, but a little more. I think enough for your project.
I mean, I wasn't looking at making a thick layer on this.
I don't know. I think multiple layers, either of many colors or with different kinds of inclusions, like a leaf. If it was fall, a leaf would look really cool. Or a dried flower or something. Or some moss. Well, you know what? We can try it this way. If we like the project, we can come back to it and do it more different. I don't know. What do you guys think he ought to do with his log? What are your suggestions?
Do you have a hot glue gun?
I have one. I own one. Now,
You just
do
don't
I
know
know
where
where
it
it is?
Would it be with your convention
Why?
stuff?
Oh, hot glue might not be a bad idea.
It would seal these little sections
Yeah.
quickly.
Oh, babe, I don't know where it is though. I really don't. I haven't used it. In fact, I had Mom bring hers because I don't know where it is, and I didn't want to dig
I'll
for it.
briefly look in your convention stuff.
Sure. Hey, if you see anything else that looks interesting or cool. Okay. I still need better stirring sticks. These are terrible for a cup this size. These are terrible. So I don't know if you guys can even, yeah, you can see me. Okay. Not me, but you can at least see what I'm doing. So the Amazing Clear Cast seems like it's a softer resin than the Hippie Crafter resin, and maybe then the Flow Crafts or Flow Art or whatever they called it resin. Let me do these. I feel like I spend all these Chillstreams just running around, grabbing stuff, fixing stuff, putting out fires, basically. So it's nice to just kind of sit and stir some resin, hang out with you guys. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as best I can. At some point, I think I've talked about this a billion times, it would be cool to have a TV off camera set to YouTube so that I can see what the chat's saying. Yeah, I need a better stirring stick than this. This thing is not great. Not fun. So last week just had me so whipped that I just did not have it in me to do the watercolor stream. I apologize to anyone who was looking forward to that on a Friday night. Hopefully this week I can make it up to you guys because a friend of mine in chat sent me a sample of Yinmin blue watercolors. That's the new blue that, I mean, you know, people have been talking about it for a while, but for a long time the only way you could get it was basically handmade on the black market. So this sample was purchased from Golden, and Sam sent it my way, and we're going to take a look at it this week. I'm pretty excited about that. And I've also been making some preparations for another handmade watercolor stream. I have some pigments, I have some mica, and I have a real tacky, quote-unquote, handmade watercolor set with some dubious powders in it. So I'm looking forward to doing that with you guys as well. I think of the crafts, though, the crafts we do so far on these streams, the resin ones are my favorite. Oh, I just whipped so much air into this. I'm sure somebody's screaming. Let me stir and see if the chat has anything to say. Nothing that's popped up.
I couldn't find the glue gun, but I found inclusions.
Oh, hey! These are some great inclusions.
Charms.
Do you want to do the charm? I mean, it's up to you. I thought about it, and then I was like,
It's definitely smelling ripe in here now.
Well, that's why the fans are on.
Yep.
Could open the door, but it's super humid outside.
You can maybe try to do something with one of your eggs.
I don't want it. No, not at least not today.
What was your question?
I don't know. I think I was just chatting with the chat.
Okay.
You know, I have some really cute teeny mushrooms in here that would maybe look good.
You mean on the log?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think first, unless I shove the logs where the holes, the mushrooms where the holes are.
Yeah.
That still doesn't solve my fundamental problem.
Wax.
I
Like
mean,
a
from
candle.
Just drip it?
Yeah, but we don't have any unscented candles.
I don't care. Yeah.
Also, you have to be real careful where you put the wax, because anywhere you put the wax will probably create an area of inclusion between the resin and the wood.
That's fine.
Ah, you can now hear why we're not doing the stream outside where the better ventilation would be. I don't love stirring this. I'll tell you that. With this stick, I mean, this is so hard. It's uncomfortable. A smaller cup would be great. Harmful if swallowed, harmful by skin absorption, corrosive. Caution, eye and skin irritant. Slowly mix. Womp womp. Not this girl. This girl beats it like she's mixing brownies. And therefore it is full of lebables. Whew. So even though we are probably going to mix resin next week, we got to do something not resin next week, probably, because 3 weeks of resin in a row is a lot of resin. I want to make some room. Gets tight on this table after a while.
Do you know where the lighter is? Oh, I found one.
Joseph is determined. He's got a project.
Well, I just don't want to pour into molds that have already been poured into 2 or 3 times.
I don't mind. I know you do. Doesn't bother me.
So there's at least 6 holes I need to fill, I would say. We'll see if this will work. Can I turn off the, I guess not.
We need the
You it
ventilation,
on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would love to open the windows.
I think with the tape, this might be prohibitively difficult. Oh, yeah, it's kind of just flowing down.
I was thinking a small tapered candle, but I don't think we own any.
No, we don't.
So that's the thing with these crafts, okay? Like, you end up needing so much stuff.
Yeah, I think this could work in theory, but I still need something to kind of hold it.
I told you to use the push pins in the low areas.
Yeah. You try that.
Well, I was trying to baker scrape the excess of this off. The wax paper with a fan on is not the greatest combination. Mostly because I need some binder clips to hold it down. It does help keep stuff from sticking, and it is cheaper than silicone baking sheets or silicone pads, so. But it is so annoying. Because then it flies into the resin and it gets everywhere. Do you guys ever get frustrated when you're doing crafts? Like you're doing something and you like it, but it's also frustrating, but you still like it? I get frustrated doing crafts all the time. And then I feel like a jerk, because then I'm complaining about it to y'all, and I just feel like a jerk.
Yeah, the push pins are working pretty well.
Good. I mean, it worked for the river plank kit, you know? I figured they had to be on to something.
Biggest problem is it requires a whole
Right.
lot of force.
Yeah, it's
to get
hard.
The push pin
And that's
into this
hardwood,
wood.
too. Now, the thing I'm not super keen on is the gloves. Because it makes it just, I can't grip anything. Everything slips in my hands. Everything wants to fall.
Gloves have little grips on them.
These do, but I'm still finding everything slipping and sliding on me. Especially as soon as you get some resin on your hands, and then it's like really slippy. So whose project is cooler? I'm messing around with more resin techniques. Joseph's trying something a little bit more off the grid. Which do you guys like best? Well, the room's gonna smell like resin and candle. So what I want to do is I want to try doing another pink rim with glitter this time, and then I want to do clear or maybe clear glitter with inclusions. And I put my mold right in my... That's another complaint, is that these cups are not nuanced. So I ended up getting cute pink glitter. I do actually have some silicone tools. Maybe those would be better for this. But crafts for me are an exercise in like frustration, breakthrough, try something new, frustration, breakthrough, try something new. So if you guys hear me grousing, I'm not actually mad or anything. It's just my craft process involves complaints. Because it's me kind of monologuing, I guess, my thought process. Critique in the moment.
Well, we're not doing kits right now, so there's no one to blame but ourselves.
Yeah, this is just us messing around.
Which is not
a bad
regular on Chillstream.
Well, we were working on the kit earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
But that takes a while, so it's nice having like a plan B craft that we already know how to do.
What do you think is more chill, when you just do what you want without a kit, or when you're doing a kit? Because sometimes the kits call for things that you don't have, and then you have to figure out
how to do that, how to facilitate that.
And if you're just doing your own thing, then
that's on you.
It's less of a concern because you can just pivot. But if you're trying to do a kit,
I don't know.
Hard to
I
pivot.
get really attached. As you know, I get really attached to ideas.
Yeah.
So I have a really hard time pivoting. I got my finger in this. I didn't want to do that. So for me, pivoting is actually more frustrating. And then I'll get obsessed with like the idea. And then I won't be able to focus on doing anything else until I've done what
a lot of artist experience then.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I feel like very alone, and not like in a I'm so special way, but like I sometimes feel like other people handle the struggle better than I do. And I don't just mean with like crafts that aren't going well. I mean like all kinds of stuff. What about you? You like art, even if you don't make a lot of it.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you prefer? Kits or...
I don't like the idea of kits.
Like at all?
No.
You're anti-kit?
No, I think for kids it makes sense. Or maybe if you have a very limited amount of time, it makes sense.
I like kits when I'm learning something.
I'm much more of the journey kind of person, so... I need like a hammer or something.
This is tearing on me. I'm slow. Too slow. Slowito. I like kits when it's something I've never done before and they include everything I actually need to do it. So I like using kits to learn a new technique or a new skill.
Yeah.
Because then after I've done it a couple times, I can buy different supplies. I can try different techniques.
Sure. So it's low risk kind of thing.
Well, it's more like I have spent so much money trying out new arts, new crafts, and without having someone I felt like I could trust to guide me in what to buy. Because, I mean, I'll be blunt, like one of the reasons I started my channel is because a lot of craft influencers will just basically give praise to whoever's sponsoring them or sending them free stuff. So I felt like, and there weren't a lot of people talking about art supplies at the time, so I felt like I couldn't really trust the popular people. So I started doing my own reviews because I bought stuff and then I'd get burnt with it and I'd hate it. Okay, so I'm doing some cute inclusions. And this is back from my old sassy button days. Whoops. Oh well.
Alright, I think this actually either doesn't have any holes or the holes are so small that they don't really matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, resin, especially as resin gets kind of thick, it's going to be more viscous and less likely to just like seep through.
So do you think I should try pouring wax in areas that I might be concerned about, or just have at it?
Well, I also recommended that you brush resin on and give it like 30 minutes to cure and then pour another layer.
Alright, I can do that. I mean, I'm probably just going to brush around the edges. Do you have a brush and do you have resin that I could use?
I mean, I will have resin that you can use. I can go get you a brush, or the
I could
brushes
just
are in the
use a
bathroom.
popsicle stick. It doesn't need to be super precise.
You can get a brush out of the bathroom. There's some like cheap synthetic brushes in a cup. They're like bright gold.
Okay.
So like for me, a good kit includes everything you need, honestly, and isn't trying to get you to spend a lot of money on stuff that either doesn't work very well or isn't good at all or isn't really the best suited for the task. So I've reviewed a lot of kits on these Chillstreams, and I've reviewed a lot of art supplies over the years, and I've seen some like good kits, and I've seen some kits that were like really frustrating and annoying because they were just terrible, and you ended up having to add in all these extra things that they didn't disclose. Like you read the back of the box and there's like some specialty things that you actually need, and those tend to really tick me off because I feel like those should have been included in the kit.
You mean the brushes were bright gold or the container was bright gold?
I meant the brushes are bright. No.
Oh, okay. I'll just use a popsicle stick.
I can get it for you. That's gonna be cute. And it's orange, but I would call that bright gold as well.
Alright, so use the resin in this cup.
I guess you could. Here, let me pour some in on.
Yeah, that's fine for me. Oh, I need gloves, so.
Yeah, you really do. Because once it's on your hands, it is on your hands for a while, and it's really annoying. Like, I'm not going to pretend like every review I've ever done, everything I've ever had to say is like the most knowledgeable, smartest thing ever. Like, people make mistakes, information changes, but I don't have any sponsors other than my patrons. So, you know, if I say something dumb, that's my stupidity. It's not me reading a company line. Okay, so I want to try doing, where is that cute little trinket container? Because I don't have a whole lot of open time left. I want to do maybe a pink rim and a pink lid on this. So basically what I'm practicing right now is just resin control, and these are not really great tools for nuance. I mean, these are like medicine cups and popsicle sticks. Oh, that ended up like basically almost filling up the side. I didn't think it was going to fill that much. So maybe what I'll do instead is do like a blue fill. See, I'm still just having fun. Like, you're making fun of me for not doing anything really like exotic, but I'm still having fun just like playing with different colors and figuring out how to get effects with the resin. I'm gonna have to mix up some more clear cast in a minute. So I love pink and teal. Although this one has sparkles in it. You gotta go with sparkles. So what are you doing, Joseph?
Right now I'm painting the edges of this log because nothing is perfectly sealed here. I wrap it in tape and then I rubber banded it very tight.
You also
And
drip
then I
wax.
use push pins. No, I dripped the wax in one section and it didn't really work very well.
Yeah.
And then I use push pins to go over all of the very irregular, like erratically irregular sections. But even after all that, it wasn't perfectly sealed. So now I'm painting the edges with anything that looks like holes. So with resin that's like partially dried essentially, so that it will seal, and then I can just pour a centimeter layer or however tall I want on top of this, and it will be. We won't have to worry about it leaking all over the floor.
It's not gonna leak all over the floor.
No, because it's gonna leak on the wax paper.
Yeah, it's pretty and if you ruin the crawfish thing,
Yeah,
I mean,
fine.
yeah.
So I'm focusing on areas that I think might be kind of leaky and just adding resin to that. So if it is kind of flowing down, hopefully it will still eventually seal.
That's a pretty involved process. Okay, so that's that, and then I need to do the lid. I want to do the lid. I think duotone would be cool. Except I got gross on my hands.
That'd be a good name for a craft channel.
Gross on my hands? Yeah, really. That's the name of your craft channel, Joseph. Gross on my hands. You're welcome. I named it Gross on my hands. Theme song time.
No. If we start singing, Bowie will realize it's time for me to eat.
Don't even say those words.
So I don't like the smell of the resin. And when you're painting resin, I feel like you kind of need to be on top of the resin. And then you're smelling the resin real good.
Well, what you could also do is the same thing we did with the river wood whatever project, where we pour you paint it and then we pour a thin layer.
I mean, I assume the point of the painting was for it to actually seal.
Yeah, but pouring a thin layer also helps it seal,
Okay.
I think.
I mean, if we pour a thin layer, that'll probably be all that I really want on it. Do you have any for me to pour?
Not yet. No, I just used it up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, I need some more too.
I could just. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could just let it dry, and then we could pour another layer at some point in the future. It's not like it
Well,
matters when it gets done.
I have to mix some up anyway, though. It takes 3 minutes because you have to mix it for 3 minutes.
So if I do pour a thick layer, should I put little mushrooms on it?
That would be pretty cute.
Around the edges, you think? And would I have to completely cover the mushrooms?
That is up to you. What do you think? What are you feeling? Okay. I was like, I don't know where my clear cast
I
went.
need to look at the mushrooms and see if they
These are
will-
the mushrooms.
I know. See if they will stand first.
Opening up my second package of amazing clear cast. 2-part epoxy, 1-to-1.
Well, they will stand, but they're pretty high. They're a little bit more than a centimeter high. Is that about how thick you were thinking I should put
I was
the
thinking
resin
you
on?
should go even thicker.
Yeah.
So, oh, these are not evenly poured into the bottles. Awesome. Oh, that means I have to actually measure.
Oh, this has sticky on it. Were you touching this with?
Probably. I mean, it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember which was which. Don't try that at
I don't know
home.
where to. Okay. That works. Should I go and clean off the resin from?
Honestly, cleaning resin is a
Beetle.
PETA.
Oh, what?
PETA! It's an acronym and not people eating tasty animals. Okay. So that's my 2 parts. It would have been helpful if Amazing Clearcast had actually poured the same amount in the 2 bottles in the same package, like if they had a standardized amount. Some people weigh these out. Maybe I should do that in the future, but you know, that's why I don't bake. I do want something I can pop bubbles with.
I think there's still one little hole. No, 2 little holes.
Hey, bud.
Should I try to pour wax into it, or just try to shove a little bit of plastic in there?
I mean, that's why I suggested you paint it. I mean, I know you did paint it.
Yeah, but it still ran down.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because the 2 holes, I guess, were slightly too big.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the solution would be.
Well, brute force doesn't seem to be it. Yeah, I can kind of see where a little bit of resin flowed down from one of the holes. And check the other. I don't think I see it on the other hole.
Every time I mix resin, I wish I'd mixed more.
Yeah, I don't think it's ready for a pour for sure. I think I might try the wax again. Maybe I'll try the wax with a brush.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea.
Should I rinse off the epoxy first?
Definitely, if you can get it off. But I feel like that brush is probably trash.
Is it okay to put this little bit down the sink, or is that a bad idea?
I guess it is.
Should I
mean,
hose it off?
I don't know. It's probably fine. I mean, I've washed other stuff. I just try to scrape the majority of it into the garbage.
Yeah. I'll try to just get it off with a paper towel.
Ooh, I am feeling so tired and so sleepy. I'm gonna have to start doing it by weight because I think I'm goofing when I do it by volume.
Wax before, but we'll see how well this works.
I'd pour it into something else rather than trying to dance around the flame.
Flame is not big. I think I could do it. We'll see.
Don't try this at home, those of you who are under the age of 18.
Seems to be working. I wish the fan wasn't blowing this.
Yeah, in the future I'm going to have to set this up with binder clips. I got home at like 6 o'clock. So basically, restarted the stream 5 minutes after I got home. And I'd been on the road all day. So.
Yeah, this is working incredibly well. I think it's already formed its seal. And if anyone asks, we can say it's sap. This is fun.
I know. So put something to weigh it down.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I just...
I mean, I have resin all over my hands, so you might not be thanking me. Or honestly, when I'm cleaning up, I'll be cursing me.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is just so covered in resin, I can't get a grip on it. Woo! You know, I always, as an adult, as a kid, I used to think when teachers did arts and crafts, it was because they needed like a break and they needed like a quiet hour or something. But as an adult, when I'm doing chill streams and stuff, it is actually not, like, it's a lot of effort to make it seem chill. Because it's a lot of prep and a lot of cleanup and a lot of quietly biting back, cursing when stuff goes really, really wrong.
Well, I'm not stressed.
Man, I was cleaning up the resin from last week, and it was definitely a pain in the booty butt.
Yeah, luckily that's off camera though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I also made it a point to be like, the soap and hot water thing was a bad move for me.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't work out for me.
Do not repeat.
I'm not. If it works for someone else, that's great. I was using Dawn. Maybe Dawn. I figured if anything will do anything, Dawn will do it. But maybe Dawn was the problem.
Dawn is never the problem.
I mean, that's a scented candle with oils. I don't know how the oils are going to interact with resin. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it'll probably melt and then drip down the side of the candle.
Well,
But
resin
hopefully
gets
by then,
incredibly
resin will
hot, so
have
it
been
might
set.
melt the resin.
Yeah, it's
Or, I'm sorry, the
the
wax.
That's what I just said.
So that'll be interesting
But
to
I'm
see.
hoping the resin will be more hardened by that point, and so it won't really matter.
Yeah, it honestly gels up in about 30 minutes. And then it takes, some of them recommend you give it 2 hours and then you can do another layer. Yeah, maybe I should start popping the bubbles with, like, getting a heat gun and popping the bubbles, because heat guns are about $20. And in some of these, popping those bubbles would really make a aesthetic difference.
Other than getting wax off of where I didn't really intend to drip it. I think this is probably ready for some type of pour. Take a look at it and see if I can see any areas where it obviously dripped, but I may have missed. I think there might be one more area I need to touch up.
Oh, I'm so sorry we can't really keep up with the chat like this. My hands are literally covered in resin, and I don't want to touch my phone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, candle now. Hopefully I can make the patches I had looked to before it solidifies.
Now I like moving the resin into a smaller pot to stir it because it clears up a lot faster. What's that blue I just used? There it is. Yeah.
Alright, you got any resin for me?
Get a cup. Get a small cup. Ugh.
You can't just pour it out of the big one?
That's what I was gonna do, but I want to pour. I don't want to give you all that resin because it takes forever to mix it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna pour
So
it
I was
all
gonna pour it into a smaller cup so it'd be easier to use,
Okay.
easier to distribute.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, this resin does not like the big tray. I might try researching and buying a different.
So what, like this?
No, like, cause you need enough to pour. There's
I
like
don't understand
medium
why I can't
size,
just pour it out of this cup
Then
and not
do
use it
that.
at all.
but I'm
You've
still
got some
using
control.
that cup.
So,
So it would mean 2 people could use that cup at one time,
okay.
or that amount at one time.
Well, hopefully the pour shouldn't take too long. Pouring too close to the edge because I got some on the outer part of the tape. You need it back?
Mhm. But I mean, I can wait another couple seconds.
There, let me finish up then. It definitely smells like something.
Yeah, I just did a bunch of alcohol ink.
No, it's more the resin.
I also wanted you to pour it in a smaller cup so you could mix it a little bit better, because I feel like I'm not
okay.
getting a good mix with the big cups.
Sure.
So I pour a batch in the big cup, and then as I do individual colors, I mix it more. And I find that it clears really quickly when I do that.
Well, I don't see anything obviously flowing out, considering I put a pretty thick layer.
So then you have to turn it on a lathe. 'Cause
Yeah, right.
that's the YouTube law. Everything has to be poured in a recycled plastic container covered in mold release.
Well, this is
and
going
then
to
lathe.
yeah, this is going to be very clearly baby's first resin project.
Yeah, you were ambitious there, Icarus.
Because there's, you know, resin on the sides from before I put down the wax and all kinds of stuff.
Ambitious is good though, I guess.
Yeah.
They say fortune favors the bold.
Well, it's probably not going to fail terribly.
Well, if it does, that's okay.
Is it time for me to feed Belle, or are we still going to stream?
I'm still working on this, so if you want to feed, you probably ought to feed Bo, is I guess what I'm saying. Are you done?
I think so.
Are you gonna come back to it another time? Like, are you gonna add more to it?
If you want me to.
Okay, well,
Didn't put in the mushrooms.
I've been putting resin projects that are in process in the small bedroom.
Okay. You want me to move it there?
Yeah.
You want me to get it on camera first?
You can try. I say try because the combination of camera and resin makes for a bulky.
Dunk your phone straight into the resin.
Hi, Bowie. You're about to eat.
I showed way too much other stuff. So all that beautiful white
Is wax.
is wax. I have no idea how much of it is going to come off.
Yeah. Yeah. Joseph did not watch like 100 YouTube videos on resin. He kind of just dived in. So we've got different approaches.
So you're not really on stream? Do you want me to get you
Yeah,
on
put me on
stream?
stream.
Okay.
The only reason I wasn't was I was kind of sacrificing it so that they could see what you were doing.
Alright, now you are.
Because I thought that what you were doing was probably more interesting than, oh man, I didn't mix up enough of that. That's okay. Whatever. Whatever. That was his play button. The only play button we'll ever have in this house.
Good boy.
Okay, so. Did not make a lot, have not made a lot today.
Were you making a jest about your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh. Good boy.
Okay, so I want to do
I thought these little clouds
this
were little
one, but I need
Isabels.
room. And I don't have any. You know, I actually try not to buy any kind of cabochons that are of licensed properties. A, because they are probably knockoffs, and B, because I don't want to deal with Nintendo coming after me
Yeah, for using a little
for
bit
using
of plastic
something.
of
Yeah,
Pikachu or something.
yeah. So I avoid all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Some people argue if you use a licensed product to make it, like licensed fabric, you can sell it. I think Disney feels differently about that. I don't know legally where the in-between is. So I just avoid it all. I mean, I draw fan art, but that's usually like a one-off.
I think it's about time for me to quit anyway, because all those teams are starting to get to me.
Yeah, can you move that after or before?
Sure. Yeah, I can move it.
Thank you. Aw, Bowie. So I want to do this. I want to do a gold rim, and then I want to do flakes in clear, because I think that would look kind of cool. Maybe not gold though. I have this like smolder color that's more of a pewter, and that's really more my style. So I'm trying to do a rim. I don't. What happened?
It slid right before I put it down. Hopefully it's fine.
Did it fall?
No.
If you leave it stable, it should kind of find its equilibrium.
Yeah.
Bo's mad because we keep taking play breaks.
Turns out wax paper on plastic with
Resin?
yeah, is very slippery.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's more of a green color. I don't really like that. Here's some regular gold, maybe mixing the two. And maybe if I add some yellow, we'll see. I think you're not supposed to add more than 3% of an additive to a liquid additive to resin. And these are alcohol inks. You don't want to use water-based inks because that's going to cause some serious problems. That's better.
what was called serious problems?
Adding water-based inks to resin.
Yeah, sure. I guess alcohol is non-reactive.
Well, alcohol evaporates super quick.
Yeah.
I goofed that, I think. Because it's so hard to control the amount. I poured too much at the offset, and now I gotta, like,
You kind of
scrape.
scoop it, yeah.
That or I can attempt to make some more.
And the good thing about this sort of thing is whatever you do, it looks intentional. I mean, unless you got like a big fingerprint or something in your...
I'm gonna have to make more resin. I think this one's gonna be my last for today. Because I have to hunch to do this, or I am hunching to do this, and it's just physically hard for me.
I think you're just barely off camera.
Bowie is like demanding play. He can't even stand to have you take a minute. Like mother, like son.
Oh, that's a lot more.
I know. Because I wanted just a gold rim, but I don't know that that's going to work. Because I feel like for it to actually get in there,
Yeah.
it has to kind of flood it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to stress about that. I'm just going to...
Just pour clear for the rest.
That's what I'm going to do. Ugh! I can't get this.
What is it covered
It
in?
might be resin
now?
shut. It was probably resined
Can you
before.
get a paper towel and try to open it?
Yeah. Now it's definitely resin. See, Bowie does not appreciate the craft streams. I moved
I
them.
grabbed it without a paper
Ooh,
towel. That's
regret.
exactly what I intended not to
Yeah,
do.
regret. I want to like scoop all this extra out. I wonder if I can get away with doing that, or if I'm just gonna regret my life and choices.
I think when you're using resin, you should just treat everything like it's incredibly hot.
That's kind of what I do. Because I think that's a really good rule. I mean, it's not actually hot, but once you get resin on your bare hands, it takes a lot to get it off. It's a real pain in the booty. So I just treat it like it's lava, or try to. Oh, I still have some on it. It's gonna drive me nuts.
You're scraping it out?
Yeah, because I don't want all that, but it's not really working the way I wanted it to. So whatever. Moving on. Oh, that's a mistake. 'Cause this is gold foil, not gold foil. Like gilders. Oh, I love how it's impossible to get it out.
Why don't you use a tool to get it out?
I don't have any. They would use a brush because the Becca makes great choices in life. Becca makes great choices in life. You should all do the things that Becca does, because she makes such great choices in life.
You could have used that same stick that you were using to start.
No, because it's got gold on it, and I don't want that gold. I want this nasty mess. That grossness.
Very soapy.
Yes, it's chow. Yeah, I just don't know when to quit.
Well, you You got resin, why not use it?
Yeah.
Or you could make another
You
little
know,
palette with
it might look oh, yeah, I don't want to do it with that because that will probably turn. Whatever. I kind of like it. There's probably too much.
Too much E or too much ball?
Too much tea or too much call?
Too much ghee or too much gall?
Too much gigo, dang. Gigo, dang. Gigo. I gave up halfway through.
Zoomed in? I feel like
It probably is. I think I'm done for today. I don't want to mix more resin and yeah, I don't want to mix more resin. So anyway, let me get on frame here. We sure made a mess today. This is gonna take forever to clean up, but that's okay. That's what the tables are about. I keep hiccuping. So today we put another layer on the Wood River Plank kit. We ran out of their resin and I'm not satisfied with the amount of resin that's actually in there. So I am going to allow it to cure fully and probably supplement it with my own resin. We also filled several resin molds today, which I look forward to unmolding with you guys next week. And Joseph got real creative, went off the script, which is great, and took a round piece of wood that we had around and is gonna make a resin something with it. We will see. I don't know either. Like, you're not gonna turn it on a lathe though, so it's not gonna be a bowl or a bowling ball or an Eye of Sauron or a donut.
it was a display platter before, and it'll be a display platter now. Just with resin on
It'll
it.
be exciting. Well, I don't know if you're gonna embed stuff or what. So it'll be exciting. And I think he's gonna work on, I don't know, next week while we're working on the Resin River.
I thought you weren't doing resin next week.
I want to do another layer on the Resin River and unmold these, but I do think we need some other craft in addition to that, because all chill streams cannot be resin chill streams.
Yeah.
People will start screaming at me because I am just not good enough at resin.
Next week's billing should be something else.
Yeah, the headliner is going to be something else.
You can, at
But
the end or whatever, pour some.
Probably do it at the beginning and then move it off the table. So I could not even tell you what we're doing next week because I do not even know. But I'm looking forward to it either way. I was looking to see if I had any small molds that would work for this, because otherwise I'm just going to chunk it.
Tell people when you stream.
And I don't have any small molds for that. So anyway, if all things go well, I'll see you guys next Monday at 6 p.m. We're going to, fingers crossed, finish up that Wood River resin mess kit. We're going to unmold some resin. We're going to see how the resin log turned out, and we will do some other craft, I'm sure. I'll have a vote in the middle of the week. Well, a vote probably up by Friday of what your options are. Ooh, my hands get so sweaty in here, and the resin leaked through. I wore gloves the whole time, and the resin leaked through.
You must have poked a hole in it, because it didn't leak through in mine.
Maybe, but these came from the resin section of Michael's, so like, realistically, you could think, oh no, these are cheap gloves.
They still feel nice.
Realistically, you would think these would be for resin being sold in the resin section. I was hoping to have clean hands for the sign off, but no. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you remain safe and healthy. If you are off for the summer, I hope you guys enjoy your summer. And if you like watercolor, I hope I'll see you guys on Friday night for my watercolor workshop stream. So have a wonderful...
Join us next week.
Join us next... I think I said that.
Okay.
Join us next week, 6 p.m. Monday, CST, for another chill stream. Bye, guys. Thank you. Do 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 do. Bo 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 bo.